It's that time of the year when the sounds of play ball can be heard in central Pennsylvania. Hello, I'm Dave Kaharczyk.
And I'm Kelly Byrne. It's almost time for the Little League World Series in South Williamsport. And we're here at the Tabor Museum, the perfect spot to start learning about the rich history that the city has to offer.
While thousands come here for baseball, they quickly find out there is so much more to see, do, and explore. Our journey beyond baseball begins on historic Millionaires Row. This elegant house on the corner of West 4th and Walnut Streets in Williamsport has garnered national attention from the New York Times and represents one of the most spectacular examples of Queen Anne Victorian architecture in the Commonwealth.
This house was one of the last houses to be built in Millionaires Row, 1888.
The Rowley House has a fascinating history that began with a man many in America knew at the time.
Mr. Rowley was actually known throughout the nation for his entrepreneurship, and he had everything from coal mines to cattle to lumber business to woodworking machines.
Edwin Rowley was so popular that the entire town shut down upon his passing. A procession led down West 4th Street to Rowley's viewing in his home. The home then came into the hands of the Diocese of Scranton in 1932. The diocese owned the home for more than 50 years.
There were 14 nuns that were housed here, and this was their convent.
Bob Kane bought the home from the diocese around the turn of the most recent century, restoring it to its authentic Victorian style. Kane says one of the most notable things in the house was something that wasn't found in many residences at the time.
It's a very, very valuable chandelier that all the globes on it are Russian pattern cut glass. That chandelier is actually electric at a time when most things were done in gas.
Some of the more impressive features of the home include intricate woodwork and stained glass windows that would make any of the fanciest designers envious.
The window that we have in the staircase that rivals anything that Tiffany did. It has jewel glass, it has chunk jewel glass, it has hand-painted and fired glass.
This is all natural. This house was built with indigenous hardwoods that were forested, timbered here in this region.
Bill Hoffman gives tours of the historic home. He says while visitors from all across the United States and even the world get to enjoy 5 rooms of the house today, it once had much more usable space.
The house originally had 13 bedrooms. There were 7 bedrooms on the 3rd floor and a ballroom on the 3rd floor.
Furniture in the house completes the intricate, ornate style. It was made just before the Civil War. Restoring and maintaining a home that's 130 years old requires a lot of work. That's where Preservation Williamsport comes in.
We had to replace a very significant slate roof that took us 5 years.
Anderson hopes that the Rowley House will remain intact for future generations to explore.
If it's not here, when some young kid that we get in here with a children's group or from, that comes over from the Tabor or wherever, that one spark that you're going to ignite, I mean, if we're not here, it never happens.
Preservation Williamsport will continue to update the Rowley House and try to find other ways to use it for the community. How about this relic here in the Tabor Museum that traces the history of Williamsport? The Grit newspaper, once world famous, got its start right here in Williamsport.
And the Williamsport area continues to be a wonderful place for business. It features a renowned healthcare facility, places to eat and explore.
Nestled along the west branch of the Susquehanna River, Williamsport is a premier destination in central Pennsylvania, home to thousands of people and dozens of businesses.
There's a lot of vitality in downtown Williamsport where a lot of other communities struggle with that.
Its vibrant downtown and close proximity to several major metropolitan areas attracts people from up and down the East Coast, and local entrepreneurs are taking note.
We are fortunate with regards to the amount of investment that is taking place by local people primarily. If you look at what is going in, it is not those store chains. It is a lot of downtown local ownership, which we appreciate.
We sell chocolates. We buy the best chocolates. We don't make it. We buy it from the best candy companies and small specialty candy manufacturers around the country. And we do specialize in nice peanuts, Amish and Moravian cookies.
Bernie Katz is the co-owner of Le Chocolat, a candy store started by his wife nearly 30 years ago.
Or you'd be surprised how many adults stand there for like 10 minutes. Well, I'll take one of those, and no, give me one of those instead. You know, and they're just like kids in the candy store, and they love it.
Bernie says Williamsport residents appreciate small mom-and-pop shops, and supporting locally owned businesses gives the community a sense of pride. Each year, more shops and restaurants spring to life.
Downtown Williamsport has seen a really great growth over the last 15 years. Things are popping up left and right.
One of the staple spots, the Bullfrog Brewery, is located in the center of downtown Williamsport.
We try to source as much as we can locally, particularly our meats and our produce. So everything you're getting is all farm raised, and it's done in a sustainable way, so everything is as fresh as possible.
The city is also home to UPMC Susquehanna Williamsport, a nationally ranked 24-hour emergency hospital serving residents in the Williamsport area.
I think the mix of urban, suburban, and rural, it's interesting from the hospital point of view. We have a relatively large, complex patient population.
The hospital is essential as more people are making Williamsport a place to visit and live.
We do have some vacancies. Those are opportunities. That's the way I look at it. It's opportunities for those who see that entrepreneurial spirit is still alive in downtown Williamsport. You have that ability to step in and do that as well.
Every college major, from aviation to web design, we explore the campus of Penn College of Technology next.
If you go back to our roots, I think that's what's so fundamental about where we are today. We started as the Williamsport Technical Institute, we became the Williamsport Area Community College, and now Penn College. What that says to us is that in our entire history, we've been focused on making people have the opportunity to get a higher education degree and to get a job.
And then it's where the stars come to shine. We'll give you an exclusive look at Williamsport's Community Arts Center.
Stitch Hendrickson and the New York Pops opened. We had Yo-Yo Ma on stage. We had Aretha Franklin on stage. We had Lean Greenwood on stage. When Leonard Skinner came here, I thought it was something really, really cool. The entire theater stood the entire concert. It was really neat.
We're here at the Tabor Museum in front of a Civil War era exhibit. Williamsport's rich history is on display here, and Kelly, that's what makes Penn College a perfect fit for the region.
And from its humble start back in 1914, Penn College has now blossomed into a premier college for technology.
In our entire history, we've been focused on making people have the opportunity to get a higher education degree and to get a job, and a degree that works.
It's that philosophy that's allowed Pennsylvania College of Technology to become a top school in the nation for applied technology education. With more than 5,400 students enrolled, bachelor and associate degrees are obtained within 6 academic schools, from business and hospitality to construction and design.
We believe in educating the whole student.
President Dr. Davy Jane Gilmore has been instrumental in Penn College's ability to adapt to the ever-changing technology. Students aren't just taught from a textbook, they learn through experience.
We need to have real planes, real diesel engines, real robots. We need to have real cars in automotive. It needs to be hands-on, and it needs to be made by hand, in the sense that the students are actually getting their hands involved in the activities.
For students, the hands-on education sets this school apart.
I ended up doing a tour in here, and that's when I saw the 1970 Chevelle from the Hershey Museum on the rotisserie. And I didn't know automotive restoration was actually offered as a major, so I kind of switched it the same day. Everything in here is completely original.
Vanessa Mathurin is a recent graduate in restoration.
They're all different pieces of history. Each car has a different story, so that's one of the things that drew me to this as well, because it's a flashback to the past of what they had to deal with what they got.
Penn College is home to a student-run restaurant where students can obtain a 4-year degree in culinary cooking. A guest home built by students sits on the beautifully landscaped campus, as does an art gallery. Students can receive unique degrees from brewing and fermentation science to game and simulation programming to baking and pastry arts.
The most important thing is you have to love what you do. The only way you're going to be good in life at what you do is if you're passionate about it.
Penn College has many unique degrees, including a brewing and fermentation science degree, which was recently recognized by the Master Brewers Association.
The area also has many other hidden treasures that feature the arts, history, the stars, and the planets. It's a building in downtown Williamsport that's somewhat deceptive from the outside.
People are very surprised when they do make their first visit, coming into the facade of the building, which is somewhat contemporary from the exterior, and then walking into this magnificent theater.
The Community Arts Center has a rich history that dates back to the 1920s.
This site was originally a hotel. It burned to the ground, and the Comerford Theater chain, which operated theaters throughout the Northeast, created this place as I would call it a movie palace, but really is more comprehensive entertainment.
The original Spanish Basque architecture, which was a form of Art Deco, was made to help one relax.
And these ornate theaters were designed to take you from the reality of the street to the unreality of what happens on the stage.
After an impressive early run, the theater fell into disrepair. Penn College purchased the building in 1989, reopening it as the Community Arts Center in 1993. World-class entertainment graced the stage during that opening season.
Skitch Henderson and the New York Pops opened. We had Yo-Yo Ma on stage. Gosh, I wish we could afford him now. We had Aretha Franklin on stage. We had Lean Greenwood on stage.
Whether you're up here in the mezzanine or down on the floor up front, every seat here at the Community Arts Center is a good seat to enjoy a show.
I sit in the seats that I sat in on opening night. I've had those same seats forever. I occasionally will move to the mezzanine area because you have a show like Riverdance where there's something happening all over the stage. It's a good viewing point.
The Community Arts Center has a stellar lineup to celebrate its 25th anniversary and continues to look to draw even more people from all across our area. From the stars on the stage to the stars in the sky, another treasure of Williamsport can be found on the campus of Lycoming College. The Detweiler Planetarium features a 30-foot dome with an optical mechanical star projector. Shows on space, planets, and more are offered regularly to the public.
Lycoming College has had a planetarium since 1968, and when they were designing this building, the planetarium was going to be one of the main features of this building because it is Lycoming College's way to connect to the community.
And welcome aboard to Hiawatha. My name's Captain Mike.
While we're on the subject of community, you can't have a list of treasures in the Williamsport area without mentioning the Hiawatha. It's a paddle wheel riverboat located on the breathtaking Susquehanna River in Lycoming County. Recent updates have made this river excursion more magical than ever. There are also many other parks and outdoor trails to explore here in the Williamsport area.
We are 3 hours from all the major metropolitan cities. So you can have everything that you need. Culture, theater. But if you look around, you can have all that here too. We have the Community Arts Center. We have 2 colleges. We have a world-class health system. We have the most beautiful mountains, rivers, streams, fishing. We have it all. We have everything right here in Williamsport.
Next up, we'll play some ball, little and big league style.
It's a bucket list for anybody who's trying to see sporting events or wants to come experience an amazing free event for really anyone in the world.
Welcome back. We're now at the World of Little League Museum, a must-see for any baseball fan.
And Kelly, for some young people, this is really the experience of a lifetime to play on historic fields like Volunteer and Lomity stadiums and even get a glimpse of what it's like to be in the big leagues. Lomity and Volunteer stadiums. They're iconic spots that put Little Leaguers on the big stage each August in South Williamsport.
Hey, it's a bucket list for anybody who's trying to see sporting events or wants to come experience an amazing free event for really anyone in the world.
Lomity Stadium began hosting the Little League World Series in 1959. Volunteer Stadium then became a part of Little League International Complex in 2001. The additional field was named after the many people who gave their time to make Little League baseball possible and allow the Little League World Series field to expand to 16 teams. That brought a very unique experience to the players.
The cultures that they bring, the experiences that they bring. Having Australia here, we have a different Australia team. No team from Queensland's ever come before, so it'll be interesting to see what the other side of Australia has to offer with those teams and those cultures that they bring together.
McClintock adds that Little League Baseball also teaches kids much more than just sports skills.
You learn life lessons that you're not going to learn anywhere else. Teamwork, dedication, hard work, determination, coming together to overcome adversity.
The players in this year's Little League World Series will also get to enjoy a very special treat, a big league game. What's even more fascinating, Little Leaguers will get to see firsthand how it's possible that you can go from the Little Leagues right to the big leagues here in Williamsport.
Well, this year it's going to be the Mets and the Phillies. It's a Phillies home game. And a lot of the players on the Phillies Major League roster started right here in Williamsport.
This is the second year that Major League Baseball has held a nationally televised game during the Little League World Series.
A regular season Major League Baseball game to be contested here in a minor league stadium, a small one at BB&T Ballpark.
The Williamsport Crosscutters call historic Bowman Field home. The stadium features state-of-the-art upgrades. A night out at a Crosscutters game completes the whole baseball experience in Williamsport and offers a memorable time for all.
We always say your whole family can come, mom, dad, the kids, maybe grandma and grandpa too, and everybody can come out and have a good time, and maybe they all have a good time for a very different reason.
Sinacropi adds that there's really no better affordable way to bond with your friends and neighbors in what he calls a community front porch setting.
One of the most popular non-sporting events at the Little League World Series is pin trading, and Eyewitness News has its very own pin. So Dave, do you want to trade?
I think so, Kelly. And now that we have our pins, the bands, the fans, and the teams are getting in step and in tune for the Little League World Series. Up next, Williamsport welcomes the world with a grand parade.
It's a really great place to be able to come and visit.
The entire area is getting ready to welcome the world to the Little League World Series, and it all kicks off the night before with the Grand Slam Parade.
The White Sabres Drum and Bugle Corps kicks off this year's parade. The White Sabres Drum and Bugle Corps from New York will lead off this year's parade. This is video of the White Sabres during a recent competition. They'll be back with many other bands for the Drum and Bugle Corps DCA World Championships on Labor Day weekend. That's at Williamsport Area High School.
Thank you for joining us for Williamsport Beyond Baseball. I'm Kelly Byrne.
And I'm Dave Kaharchik. We'll see you at the Little League World Series Parade. Join us on Wednesday, August 15th, starting at 6 p.m. on WYOU.